Patty.
Yes.
It has been so long since we have had a guest on our
I
podcast.
know.
We're going to change all of that today in this episode of Travels with Delaney,
The podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick.
I'm Patty.
And we are joined on the old podcast couch, like always, with Truman and Bess, our Cavalier King Charles Spaniels.
Yep.
But we're also joined over on the theater sofa by a very special guest. Today we have Katie, who just happens to own 3 RV parks.
Wow.
And we are going to be talking to her. Basically, we're going to talk about anything and everything that she wants to talk about.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Katie, we do this little thing in our podcast each episode called This or That.
Okay.
And normally Patty gets put in the hot
Yep,
seat.
not me today. Woohoo!
So anytime we have a guest, Patty's off the hot seat. It's real simple. We throw out a simple choice, and whatever comes to the top of mind is your choice.
Yep.
So we want to get your opinion. If you had to choose, because you mentioned a little bit ago pre-podcast that you're not originally from Texas, so you're like us.
The dirty secrets out
Yeah,
now.
oh no. Although I think you've been here a while, so longer than us. If you have to choose, Whataburger or In-N-Out Burger?
Oh, yeah, this is going to be divisive. The thing is that I don't love Whataburger.
Okay.
And I'm, like, afraid to tell Texans this, but it's just, like, not my favorite, so I would probably go with In-N-Out Burger.
there you
But
go.
I like both of them a little bit. I don't know. I'm just so scared of the Texans. I don't know if you know, like, how crazy
they're
Texans
crazy
are
about
about
that.
Whataburger, but I was with some of my friends and I just told them, like, yeah, I'm just, like, not super into Whataburger. You would have thought that I told them that I, like, hate children. Like, it was,
I know.
And that's the thing. We're kind of the same way. Like, we like Whataburger.
yeah,
Yeah,
like,
it's fine.
it's fine.
But
I prefer In-N-Out Burger.
yeah, I don't know what it is about the In-N-Out Burger. It's just really juicy.
It's really good. Also, like, I don't know if this is a hot take, but, like, it's also significantly cheaper than Whataburger.
Oh, is it?
It's
I
and
hadn't noticed
if
that.
I'm going to be eating like a fast food burger, I don't necessarily want to pay like $10. I don't.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I get it.
I'm like, is that okay to say? I don't know.
Right.
But that's kind of my hot take is that I think the flavor is like a little bit better, and I also think it's like significantly cheaper. So.
Well, for some reason, I'm weird. I like to have the lettuce in a big leaf and not chopped up on my
Yes.
burger.
Yeah.
So on
Yes.
In-N-Out, it's a big leaf.
yeah.
Like they leave it
crunchy.
whole, yeah.
Also, if I'm like in the mood for some extra veg, you can get it
Yes.
protein style, and I love that.
Oh, let's
So-
try
And
that.
In-N-Out does cut their French fries fresh.
Yes. Right
Yeah,
in
oh my
house.
gosh, their French fries, I'm not even going to hear anything else other than they're so good.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Now we're all going to be escorted to the border.
Yeah, and they're going to
They're
kick
gonna be
me
like,
out.
You all are out of Texas. You-
Yeah, they're going to take away my license now.
Although, in our defense, we did have a Whataburger
We
for
did.
lunch today. So,
Oh,
So
well, there
it's-
you go.
But,
The
no, they're
originals
good.
are just so big for me. I always have to go with the junior.
Yeah, you have to do the
Those
junior.
ones
the
are so
Whataburgers
huge.
are massive.
Yeah, they're
massive.
huge. Well, everything's bigger in Texas.
That is true.
So
That's right.
they have to be true to their name.
That's right.
Well, I suppose we should get you officially introduced, but that we just do this little segment, so it was
Yeah.
pretty easy. When
Nice.
we never put our guests on
No.
too hot of a seat.
No.
So
That was a pretty hot take. I don't know.
yeah, maybe being in Texas, maybe that was a little too.
I thought it was
much.
going to be like an HEB. Or,
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
could have
yeah,
done that.
oh.
Because we could have done HEB ice cream or Bluebell
Well,
ice
ice
cream.
cream.
Because those are both Texas
oh my
products.
gosh, what would I have chosen? I might have chosen Bluebell though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So,
Because
yeah.
I went to the store last night and I did buy Bluebell. I
Okay.
didn't buy the HEB brand.
Oh, okay.
yes, because we had that discussion
In the
today on
truck
the way
today.
to the airport. My aunt and uncle's friend Bill, he was like all Bluebell. But then I think my aunt and uncle are more
all
HEB. They're
HEB.
more HEB,
The
and
creamy
we kind of
creations,
agree.
yeah.
We like the HEB
No, I
better.
love HEB, but Bluebell has this one flavor. I think it's called like Millennial, and it
Okay.
has the cookie dough like pieces, and then it
Oh.
also has Oreo in it. And I was just really feeling it last
wow.
night.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and if it's certain flavors, then
Yeah.
that could be.
But no, the HEB ice cream reigns supreme.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah,
Anything HEB.
but I shouldn't be eating anyway. But yeah, it's good.
You know what? Shouldn't, but kind
I
of
do.
should, right?
Yeah.
Like, kind of deserve it.
Well, go ahead and give us a little, introduce yourself to everyone and give us a little background.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Katie, and I have Quilly's RV Park. So I have 3 RV parks. One is in Rockport, Texas. One is in Oyster Creek, Texas, which is like 45 minutes south of Houston. And then one is in Vicksburg, Mississippi, one of the most historic areas
Yes.
possible. So that's kind of what I do for a living. And I guess. Do I have anything else that I do with my life other than eat?
I would think 3 campgrounds keep you pretty busy.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm just like an outdoor person in general. So I guess I don't have a lot outside of like quote unquote work, but it's because I literally love what I do so much
Right.
that even if I'm on my off time, I'm usually in one of my parks palling around with people or doing something within the parks, fishing or, just being outside in general. So that's pretty much, I guess, what my entire identity is campground owner and campground person in the campground.
There you go.
Myself.
Yeah. I'm assuming you had camped prior to purchasing RV parks?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So actually I was more of a backpack camper.
Okay.
And I love, like, that's one of the best things for me is like getting out, disconnecting, just being able to be like one with nature and doing all of that. But in addition to doing that, my dad is a little bit more of a luxury camper, if you will.
Glamper.
A glamper.
He is a glamper boy. He's the original glamper boy.
Okay.
So we have always RV'd together as a family, and one of like my favorite memories was I was already an adult, but my youngest sister, and my dad and I did a big road trip up to Canada to visit our family up there, and we just went through Yellowstone and we went through the Badlands, and we did that whole trip, and it was just so magical. And whenever I'm even doing anything in my campground, I just try to remember like the feeling that I had of being with my dad and my sister and like staying at all these different campgrounds.
That's
and just
cool.
how it was so nice. It was really good.
So you're originally from Canada, you say?
No.
My
Oh.
no, she picked up on something.
Okay.
So I'm originally from New Mexico.
Okay.
My dad's side of the family is from Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, from Saskatchewan. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Cool.
Really cold.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
The real cold.
Okay.
Look at Patty picking up on a detail
Well,
I
I
didn't
was
catch.
listening.
Well, I know, but all I'm fixated on is New Mexico because earlier you mentioned.
No, yeah, I am from New Mexico, but my dad's family is from Saskatchewan. They're all farmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So when did you buy your first RV park? I'm assuming it started with one, or not.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So it started because really what happened is that my dad is a doctor and he had owned some medical practices and he wanted to retire. And at that point in time, it's kind of a convoluted story, but basically I was living abroad, the little pandemic happened, and I was pretty much unceremoniously kicked out of China where I was living.
Okay.
And I was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I was thinking, gosh, you know what I should do is I should buy multifamily housing. And I'm going to be a landlord. I'm going to do that. And my dad was like, Katie, that is an awful idea. You will hate it. But you know what's a really good idea is if we go into business together and we buy these RV parks and you can run them and I will be there in the background if you need me. And I thought, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Like, I like camping and I like being outside and I love dealing with people. So yeah, that sounds great. So in October of 2021, we purchased the first RV park, which was Quilly's Magnolia RV Park in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Okay.
Oh, that was your first.
That was the first.
If I had to have guessed, and again, my background, and just for everybody listening or watching, I have been following Katie on social media now for about a year and a half. Patty and I found you researching to come to Texas, and then just started.
Yet you didn't choose to stay with me.
Well, not because that's because of my
reason,
aunt and uncle.
Yes. Blame
because
the aunt and uncle, yeah.
because Rockport is probably a 3-hour drive,
2.5 hours,
3
2.5 hours.
And we were like, that was our original plan, was to come to Rockport.
Right.
Like we were initially like, oh yeah, and then we really liked your because of your social media presence. We're like, oh, we ought to go to Quilly's. And then we started looking at how close we were, and I'm like, yeah, that's not like a let's go meet them for lunch drive.
Not exactly.
And then they were like, oh, they want us to be a little bit closer, and we just said, you know what, we'll go closer to
you know
them.
what, you have to be close
and
to
so
family.
that was part of our reason for coming to Texas, was to hang with them this winter. And so yeah, but that's how I found you originally, was as we were just researching Texas and primarily the Rockport area, because initially that's like, we're going to the coast, and that was all because one of my campers at Happy Acres had said, yeah, I go to Rockport every year in the winter. He has a home in Michigan and then comes down, and he he kind of sold us on Rockport.
Yeah, Rockport's great.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, we're going to Texas, and then like I said, once we started looking, and we're like, we probably should go to someplace closer to Canyon Lake.
I mean,
and,
yeah,
so,
but it does make sense. I just have to give you a little
yeah,
bit
no,
of
that's
credit.
okay.
But I'm still shooting my shot because I think that you guys are going to like Rockport and that
Oh,
you're going
yeah.
to end up coming back at some point.
Oh, I'm sure we
I'm
will.
sure
Because it's
will.
really good.
We love the beach, too.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so my background is based upon of knowing you really has been what I have seen on YouTube.
On social media,
And
yeah.
I don't know why. I just assumed Rockport was the first one.
Yeah.
And I thought
That's
Mississippi was.
common.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I mean, I'll tell you why. It's
Okay.
because my person who manages Mississippi, she doesn't like being on camera and she doesn't like really being in the spotlight at all.
Okay.
So it's like pulling teeth to get her to do the social media stuff.
Okay.
So a lot of times it kind of goes unnoticed, but actually it's a great park. It's right off the highway. It's actually within city limits. It's on like city sewer and stuff,
Right.
which people like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I mean, so much historic stuff is available within like a 10-minute drive there.
And does that park tend to be a lot of, I don't know what I want to say, transient business versus long term, like people coming to visit the battlefield and Mississippi?
It's like 50-50. So
Yeah.
we do get some people who will be in there like a little bit longer term.
Right.
There's a lot going on in that area just in terms of building and infrastructure and stuff like that. So we definitely get some business for there, but I know the numbers. We have,
Yeah.
it's
No, that's
50,
fine.
it's 50-50, like exactly.
Okay, yeah. So very similar to Happy Acres. I mean,
Yeah.
I know our park's a little different because we close and you don't close, I'm assuming, in Mississippi.
Yeah. There's no closing.
Yeah, we love closing.
Yeah.
Because we all, including Kevin and Angie, the
Yes.
owners, because they were like, no, we don't want to work all year
You know
long.
what? I can't even imagine what that would feel like, but I'm so happy for you guys.
Yeah, it's I got to be honest, it's a pretty great feeling. And
Yeah.
now we get recharged over the winter and get to redo it. But okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Like I
very
said,
cool.
I in my mind, I thought for sure when I asked you that question, the answer was Rockport. So
Well, actually, let me just blow your
Okay.
mind more. Rockport was the last park that I bought.
Okay.
oh my gosh, that I would have had it the other way. I thought it was Rockport, Mississippi, and then Oyster
Oyster Creek.
Creek. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I had them all wrong.
Yeah, no. Vicksburg was the first one. It was also the most work.
Okay.
Because Rockport has always been beautiful.
Okay.
The property is beautiful, and it's just, I mean, it's so I feel like a broken record when I talk about Rockport, but just the property, so nice. Like, it has these beautiful fishing ponds, it has these nature trails, and it's just like, I mean, the property, it's 43 acres.
Okay.
So it's just like very spread out. You're far from your neighbor. It's just very idyllic, right? So I didn't like really have to do that much there.
Right.
Kind of just like the
Because
land.
I remember the videos of you working
Mm-hmm.
in Mississippi, like going in and saying, we're going to put the laundry room in here, if I remember right.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since I've
That's
watched
like
those
back when I was trying to be a vlogger.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, it wasn't really for me because I had no storyline, but yeah, so when we bought Mississippi, it was 66 spots. It had just an incredible amount of deferred maintenance, which you and I have talked off
Right.
camera about the joys of deferred maintenance. But we went in and I was actually living in the office. It was really fun. There was this little like partition wall that the previous owner had put in, and he'd built a homemade shower in there.
Okay.
And so my husband and my dog and I were living on the floor in a mattress in this little like partitioned room while we fixed everything up. And actually why I bought an RV and lived in the RV, it was because eventually I needed like a day off. And so
Yeah.
to hire somebody to work the weekends, I like couldn't be living in the office.
Right.
Right.
So then I bought an
would've been a
RV and then
little
we lived in the RV.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a labor of love, and it was a pretty steep learning curve, and I'm super handy now.
Oh,
I
I
can-
bet.
Bet.
Yeah, I didn't know that I could do the things that I can do, but like, yeah, I can like lay flooring, I can take out walls, I can build walls, I can replace the guts of a toilet.
This sounds like Angie Kozik.
Yeah, I know. That's,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
just-
way Angie is.
I had no idea how handy I was until I
Yeah.
needed. I also actually consider myself an amateur plumber as well. So.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
You learn
Yeah.
a lot of things, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, Angie was renovating a cottage this past year that
Oh.
she bought. And I don't want to. I'm afraid to blame Kevin, but it might have been Kevin's
I think
fault.
it was.
It might have
Mr.
been Kevin.
Kevin's
I don't know.
fault. That's her
But
husband.
Yeah.
when somebody was putting the baseboard up in the bathroom, they
Oh no, I think I know where this is going.
went, and then they were doing something outside, and Kevin's like, "Oh my God, we got a leak!" And
Oh no.
so, short of the story is, they had shut the water off, but the nail, had
Nail
went straight
gun,
through.
right.
The,
Yeah, of course.
So Angie calls the plumber, and he says, "Okay, yeah, it'll probably be a couple weeks before I can get out there."
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't have 2
Nope,
weeks."
she does it herself.
She ripped the wall out, fixed the plumbing. She can sweat pipe. She can do the whole
All
thing.
that.
There you go.
I'm just like, Kevin's like, I would just waited 2 weeks on the plumber. She's like, nope, I don't have that kind of time.
You know
So,
what? I get that.
Yeah, so she's a lot like you.
Uh-huh.
Or you're a lot like her, one way or the other. Like,
I was
just
at
get
the
it done.
I was in the airport and I was listening to this guy have a phone call and he was like super corporate, and corporate speak is so interesting for me because like I'm just not a corporate girly. But he was talking and I wish I could remember exactly what he said, but he said something along the lines of, I want them to have the sense of urgency that I feel. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's
Ooh.
like some good. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that Angie and I would probably
Yeah,
agree on that. I'm like,
Exactly.
urgency, guys.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Angie's one of those people that when she decides she's doing something,
She wants it done now.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like she's like we'll have phone conversations and I'll throw out an idea and she's like, well, let me work on that. And like I may wake up the next morning with like
There you go.
a prototype or a like, oh yeah, here's that design we were talking about. What do you
You
think?
know
And I'm
what?
like,
A woman after my own heart.
like, did you go to sleep last night? Yeah, I got like 2 hours sleep. I'm good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's just she's so
I love that.
she
That's how
needs
she
to. I
rolls.
keep telling her it was so funny because last year we were on Christmas Day. We were in Florida last year, but last year when we were in Florida, we were there for 2 weeks over Christmas because we were still working our teaching
Teacher,
jobs.
yeah.
So her and Kevin came up to Fort Wilderness for a couple nights. So on Christmas Day, we're in Epcot, we're having lunch, and Angie and I are talking shop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Kevin, what do you think? He's like, yeah, I don't talk campground until after the first of the year. And I'm like, excuse me? And he goes, yeah. Once we shut down, I don't talk. I need a break.
How is it to have that like boundary with yourself?
He
that you
has
just-
a
He
great
he has a
lead.
great Angie
Angie's
and I.
not so
I'm
much.
like looking at him. And I go back to Angie, and her and I go right back to talking shop. You know, like. But I was on the phone with her yesterday, and I said something about.
That you
I-
were ready for.
Yeah, I said, you know what, Angie? I think I'm back to 100% and ready to go in April. And she's like, oh, I'm glad you are because I'm nowhere near 100% yet. And I was like, ooh, that's odd for her. But I think part of that is I have kind of shut it down
Until a few weeks
till
ago.
just recently.
Yeah.
And that's why I've like been away from it long enough, which I feel bad even saying that because like you, the people here at
Never
the
get
park,
that.
you guys never get a break and you're fine. And I'm acting
It's
like
different.
Yeah.
It's different because I obviously have like a lot of friends in the industry at this point. And when you guys are doing your on season, it is crazy. Like I was talking to somebody, I don't know if you guys know Hickory Hills, but it's up in Wisconsin. But I was talking to her and she goes, yeah, I really tried to put a boundary with myself this summer that I would take at least one day off a week. And I was like, oh, what?
Oh, yeah.
Because I make sure that me and my staff have 2 days off consecutive every single week. And that is something that you guys just don't get.
No.
No, I mean, we try. Like, now, my staff, yes.
You do a good job with the staff.
I really, yes. Myself,
No.
I will schedule myself off. But number one, when you live in the park,
Yeah, I don't know.
That's hard.
it's hard. And
Yep.
now I was told that
By Angie and
by,
Kevin.
by Angie and Kevin that I am taking a vacation this summer, 1 week.
Yep.
Is it the week after 4th of July?
I don't know.
No.
They just said, basically, they said, you are going to take days off.
Even if you have to go
and-
to our cabin.
And they
or
said,
whatever.
you're going to take a week off. Even if you don't want to go someplace, you can go over to our house, you can go over to our cabin. But you cannot do what you did last summer.
Oh, I forgot because you guys have sold your house now.
Yes, we don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
our
Oh,
cabin
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, we don't have a house. I mean, we
Yeah.
do. It's on wheels.
This
but
is the house.
this is it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I was thinking, well, I mean, you guys could go 10 minutes home, but you can't.
Can't
No.
anymore.
Oh,
not
this
anymore.
is like a whole different thing of separation.
So I was pretty fried by the end.
yeah.
Well, we were
Um,
fried at the end of June.
But, well, we were, yeah,
went
I would say
hard.
by 4th of July, I was pretty
we were
fried.
pretty toasted.
We went really hard, though.
I've heard that the consensus for northern campgrounds, though, is that the week after 4th of July is like the week that everybody just wants to die.
Right. You just take
You're
a
dead.
breath.
You're tired.
And unfortunately for us, we took a little bit of a breath, but then we hit it.
hard again.
Yeah, we just hit it hard again. And I'm not complaining because, like I said, you you got parks that are going year round. And
See, in our area, the week after 4th of July usually is what's called Balloons Aloft,
which is the hot air balloon festival
in town. And so we get
in
a
the
lot
middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wild.
And so
And
we
then-
get a lot of people that come for that.
And then right from there, the next weekend is Thanksgiving in July.
Right.
I know all campgrounds do Christmas in July.
We do Thanksgiving.
But my theory is you can't have Christmas without having Thanksgiving. So we do one weekend of Thanksgiving in July.
I mean, I like Thanksgiving. So.
Then the
Yeah.
next weekend is Christmas in July. Originally, my plan was to have New Year's in July.
Yep.
That hasn't come to fruition
No.
because by that point, now we're at the end of July.
We're tired.
We all need a break. So
Yeah.
we slow down on the activities
Uh-huh.
because our fall is pretty crazy.
Yep. Once
Because we
get
do
into-
2 Halloween
Mhm.
weekends. We do a fall fest. This year we're adding an October fest, Labor Day, and
Then all of a sudden your season's done.
then
Yes.
you get to the last weekend. This is so you've never got to experience a closing.
Yeah.
But
No.
this is what happened. We started probably a week before saying
Prior.
we were making a list of everything that has to be done.
Right.
Then it was like, what can we do ahead of time? So in
That's what the
past
staff was
years,
thinking, yeah.
it has taken Angie and Kevin what?
Maybe a week or
week
and a half.
to close the park after you kick everybody
Because
out.
usually it's just them two doing it.
So Kevin's like, I think we can be out of here in about 5 days if we all work hard. And I was like, all right, perfect. So we were all like, we're going to be out of here by Friday. We ended up closing the campground. Everybody got kicked out at noon on a Sunday.
Yep.
We shut the water off Monday afternoon, and everybody left. Literally Sunday, as campers were rolling out, we were grabbing picnic tables off of the empty sites
Good.
because we have to put them away.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I hope this doesn't look bad to the other campers. Like,
well, and then some
but
of the
it-
people that
And
Well,
then-
but actually that might be good because if they're supposed to be out at noon.
Right.
I don't know how your campers are because I know that some campgrounds are really strict on like the whole checkout thing. I mean, if you come to my campground, you should still leave by the checkout, but I'm not going to say that we really like
we've had some
enforce that.
people
Yeah, I mean,
linger.
and here's my thing on it is if that site's not being rented tonight and you want
Yeah.
to stay a little late, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What I'm not okay with is you just staying and
We've had
not
somebody
asking.
that lingered.
Yeah,
Because then we don't know
communication
what-
is key, right?
Yeah.
No, communication is so important because I mean, like my thing is I always think like customers are allowed to act a little silly. Like I'm not, but customers are. And so, but if they ask me like, hey, can you do this or can you do that? I'm going to, if I can do it, I'm going to.
Right, exactly. Because if that site's not being rented and they're like, I know checkout's at noon, but it's such a nice day. Could we stay till 2? And a lot of times guys will even say, I'll pay. And I'm like, it's fine. We're not using the site. If you're going to be gone by 2, great.
Mhm.
What makes me nervous is when people are supposed to be gone by noon, they don't communicate to us, and the site is rented.
Yeah.
I start to go into a little bit of an anxiety attack.
Yeah, me too. Actually, okay, so this has happened to me a few times is we'll have somebody coming into the site the next day and we'll be sitting there and we're like, "Oh my god, why are they not leaving?" And we'll go and they won't be at their camper. And
Yep.
we're like, "Okay." Then they're not answering their phone and we're like, "Oh my god, what are we going to do?" And then they'll show up and they'll be like, "Oh, we thought we were leaving tomorrow." And we're like, oh, okay. So then usually we can like rearrange things and kind of like move things around and like get it going.
Right.
But it's happened a few times over the years where, and they'll just come in, just calm, like relax. And we're like sweating in the back, like, oh my God, what's going on?
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I've been there. And so prior to me having a 28-year career at the community college teaching, I ran hotels, which is basically like running a campground. So, and
Just more moving parts.
Yes. And so, I understand revenue, yield management. So anyway, I'm like, hey, you guys hired me to run your campground. And Kevin's always like, yeah, you don't need to rent every site. And I'm like, I don't understand why we wouldn't rent every site. And he's like, well, sometimes it's good to have an extra site in case something comes up. So
I'm kind of on Kevin's side.
yeah, but I'm
But not
like,
him.
and not Angie. So Angie's like, I'm with you. Let's rent them all.
But this
And-
is the thing is like
but-
something always pops
I
up.
know. And then we get into some issues. And so I'm starting to get like Kevin a little bit more to where we'll hold back. And
Well, you guys, I mean, you're around 100 sites also, aren't you?
yeah, currently we're at 91. total.
91.
Yeah.
So back in the day when I had 50 spots, it was very often that we would be at 100% capacity, and we I don't do like a lot of the check-ins and stuff anymore, just like transparently.
Right.
But this was back in the day when I was still doing check-ins and stuff, which I miss. I love doing check-ins. But this guy comes in and I'm like, hey, like Michael? He's like, yep. I'm like, cool. Let me bring you to your spot. And so I bring him in. I'm talking to him. They're like a really interesting couple, really enjoying it. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'll let you guys be, yada, yada. And he comes up to me about 10 minutes later and he's like, hey, I need to pay you. And I'm like, no, you guys already paid online. He's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, yeah, you guys already paid online. Like your reservation was already taken care of. He goes, well, I don't think so because I was going to stay at the RV park down the street, but I didn't like it. And so then we were driving and I just turned in here and then you just put me in that spot. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? What are you saying? Because I said, hey, Michael. Well, guess what? He couldn't hear me because he had a Super C and it was a diesel. And so he just was like going with it. And by the grace of God, my dad was there that weekend. I was like, hey, you got to get out of your spot, man, because I've rented it. And so I made him boondock because the next person showed up like 10 minutes later. The real Michael.
So that is so ironic because that happened to me this summer.
It's awful, isn't it?
I had talked to a couple on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I have a site available. I don't remember. I think it was the last site. And she said, do I need to book? I said, well, she said, we're like 30 minutes out. I said, nah, just come.
Yeah.
So,
I train that out of my employees, but I have also been guilty of that.
yeah. So I probably got her name. I think I got her name.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I don't remember. Short of it
How
is,
naughty were you? That's what I want to know.
Somebody walks in and says something. I forget what they said. Like, I just assume, because I think the same deal. It was like the same first name or...
No, this guy didn't have the same first name.
Okay. Well,
I just want you to know that it was wild what happened
okay,
to me.
this was... I forget how it was. Short of it is, these people did not... It was not the people I talked to. But I get them all set up because their story sounds the same.
Yeah.
We're having this full conversation.
I mean, it's probably a similar story also, right?
Yeah. And so I, check them in. And then a little bit later, like another 10 or 15 minutes, here comes this person. And she's like, hey, Patrick, we spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and she tells me. And I'm like, wow, hold on a second. I said, you're not going to believe this, but somebody just arrived 10 minutes ago. I thought it was you.
So did you have a spot for them?
We ended up, yes and no. I did not have a nightly spot, but I had a seasonal site where the people would take their motor home with them every weekend. And I bet you they only came like 4 or 5 weekends, and they know the owners, and we got to know them. And so I knew, because he had told me, you can always use our site if we're not
Those
there.
are the best guests, like the ones that that will have your back, that will do anything, and then you'll do anything for them as well.
Right, exactly. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to put you back in the seasonal section, but it's a really nice site.
Yeah.
And so it all worked out, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did. So you just made me feel a lot better that I'm not the only person that's had that type of moment.
You're not the only person. That happens to everybody. Like, that happens so, like, more often. I hear it all the time from people.
And Amy, who works in the office, I remember she was there with me, and I think she was mortified. And I'm like, it's okay.
It is kind of mortifying, right?
It is, but I'm like, we'll work through this. And then all I could hear was Kevin in my brain going, you don't need to rent every site, because of those situations.
So, follow-up question is, do people care about being in the seasonal section?
I would say, like in this case, they didn't mind because it was such a nice site.
Well, we're fortunate that our seasonal folks are really friendly.
Yeah.
Or some seasonal people not friendly?
We've heard that, from other parks, to where seasonals can be standoffish towards nightlies.
Nightlies feel uncomfortable.
And like there's almost this war, like nightlies hate seasonals hate nightlies. But that's not the case at our park. We have a
really
great
friendly,
group of
nice,
seasonals.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So no, and
didn't bother.
I understand. We try not to. I mean, seasonal section is for seasonals.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, most of the time, people just leave their RVs all the time. We just had this one particular...
I know people like leave them for like years and then sell them and like keep... And the new people... Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, I love it, but it's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, well, that's good to know.
Yep.
So Rockport was the last one. Getting back to that.
Oh, yeah.
And so what about Oyster Creek? That was number 2. Then how long after your first park did you buy your second park.
Oh yeah, well because I hate myself. We closed on Vicksburg. I'm gonna try to get the dates right, but like hopefully nobody looks at my records.
Well, roughly.
I'm pretty sure that we closed Vicksburg on October 15th. I think that we closed on Oyster Creek on December 21st.
The same year.
Yes. And then I told my dad, we've really got to chill and we need to do a long due diligence on Rockport because I'm going to cry. I was working probably,
Crazy.
like 12 hours, probably more than 12 hours realistically, but I was working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like
Right.
I was burned out. And he goes, yeah, don't worry about it. Like we're going to do 3 months due diligence. It's going to be okay. And then he called me on December 30th and he was like, hey, the deal is that for taxes and stuff, it's really better for the previous owner if we sell on December 31st before the new year. So I'm going to need you to drive 9.5 hours down to Rockport and you're going to have to close on that, etc. Boom. So I bought 3 parks within 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah. It was, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But you know, it was like trial by fire and it was like during the time it was obviously very painful, but looking back at it, I have kind of fond memories of it because I was like, oh, you know, like it was back when I was, you know, digging the holes and I was answering the phones and I was probably scrubbing a toilet while answering the phone and like just doing it all and really learning like the inner workings of campgrounds.
Right.
Because it's so different than camping, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't have to think about how the bathroom got cleaned or about, you know,
No, you just
why
show up
Yeah,
and-
you just show up and have a good time, which I mean I recommend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really wild time.
Oh, I bet.
Thank God.
And what year was that?
2021.
2021.
Wow.
Which is the same year Angie and Kevin bought Happy Acres.
Yep.
They took possession in August
Yep.
of 21.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, they only did one part.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
been a challenge.
So since 2021, I added 28 sites in Vicksburg so now we're 94 sites.
Okay.
I added 50 sites, a pool, and a clubhouse, laundry room, bathhouse to Rockport,
Right.
and I just added a gate to Cozy, but that's a lot of construction.
What? And so how many sites now is Rockport total?
100.
100. Okay.
Yeah, it's 100 now.
So and then Vicksburg is
94.
94, and then
30.
30. Okay. Yeah.
It's a little baby park.
Sure.
It's actually such a nice park.
Looked awesome in the video that I saw.
It's really nice.
I mean, just simple, but
It's very simple. It's no frills.
Right.
It's about 7 minutes from the beach. Just in a really, really nice area. Just really green, has trees, just so
Sounds
nice.
lovely.
And
Yeah.
concrete must have been really cheap back then because the roads are just like huge and wide and the pads are huge and wide and it's just all
Nice.
concreted out. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really nice park.
Sounds it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So of the 3, that's probably an unfair question.
That's an unfair
Yeah.
question. Also
Yeah.
because I have staff and all
yeah.
of them.
So you love them
I'm
like
like,
your children.
let's not play this or that with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. They're all unique in their own way.
Yeah.
They're all so different.
Yeah.
It's like even though I have similar brandings and I have similar promises that I'm going to make to anybody who stays in my park, which is
Right.
that I'm going to offer you a clean, relaxed, safe stay. They're so different. And it's just, if you're going to go to Vicksburg, you're going to be probably staying for maybe a week. You're going to be exploring around the area. You're going to be eating really good Southern food. You're going to be having that Southern hospitality that you're going to expect. You're going to be doing all that stuff, but you're probably not going to stay there long term. Like
Right.
you're going to be in and out. You're going to be, maybe you're on your way to my park in Texas. Actually, a lot of my winter Texans do this.
Oh, they
So
stop.
yeah, they stop in Vicksburg and then they'll like continue on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's such a compliment.
Oh yeah.
This summer I had somebody come. They stayed in Vicksburg, then they went to Oyster Creek, and then they went to Rockport, and they stayed a week in
nice.
each. And I was like, wow, that is the biggest compliment I have
Yeah.
ever gotten in
Yeah.
my life.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really nice. But then, if you're going to Oyster Creek, you're probably either going to be going to the beach or you're going to be working.
Right.
It's a huge industrial area,
Yeah.
and the beach is good though. I mean,
Right.
it's like Surfside
Sure.
Beach. It's very famous. But if you're in Rockport,
Oh, is that near Surfside?
yeah, like 7 minutes from
We
Surfside.
love
Okay.
Surfside.
We actually camped at
It's
Surfside on the beach.
On
Okay.
the beach.
You know, if you get to like it's entrance 3,
Yeah.
once you're outside the city limit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent like 3 or 4 nights there.
Yeah,
back in-
Surfside is nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah, when I went down there, like when we were closing on the park, I was like, wow, this is like living. I think
Yeah.
the
Okay,
area.
now I know exactly where it's at because.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of places in Texas you can name that I will know exactly where it's
Yeah.
at.
Well,
Once
there
you
you
said
go.
Surfside, I'm
well,
like,
do you know
oh,
where the Buc-ee's is there?
yeah, the
Yeah,
It's
little,
like right by there.
the little Buc-ee's.
Yeah, the little Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know those, but the first Buc-ee's in Texas was actually in that area in oh my gosh, not Oyster Creek, in Lake Jackson.
Okay.
Lake Jackson was the first Buc-ee's.
Yeah, because I ended up doing a video. It might have been that year,
We did that.
2022.
Yeah.
We went to one of those little Buc-ee's,
The
and
tiny-
I
the
shot a
baby
video
Buc-ee.
Yeah.
and said, like, you know, this is more like a 7-Eleven. But guess what, folks? It's a Buc-ee's.
It's still a Buc-ee's.
And a lot of people were like, I had no idea, which is why I shot it, because we didn't know it
A
till.
baby Buc-ee.
Yeah, it was like a baby Buc-ee's.
I mean, I kind of prefer the baby Buc-ee's.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, the
Because-
big ones are a little crazy.
A little crazy.
I went to Houston a couple weeks ago to look at some nice park models that I think I'm going to buy. But when we were driving back, we went to stop at the Buc-ee's in Wharton to get
Okay.
gas. Oh my God. It was so crazy that we actually had to leave because there was not one pump open and people were waiting in line for the
For
pump.
Pumps.
We've
It was
done
just
that.
crazy.
We've been there.
Oh,
We've gotten, when we're traveling with the RV.
We don't even stop anymore.
unless it's early morning or late at night,
Mhm.
because if you stop during the
You
day,
can't even find.
I mean, there's no place to park your RV. It's
Which
hard to even
is
get gas.
crazy
Yeah.
because Buc-ee's used to be like the place if you were RVing because it's like so big and open.
Right.
Like their gas pumps are so big and open, but it's just they're too popular.
Yeah.
They're the
They're
popular kid
crazy.
in school now.
They
just
are.
can't be doing it.
Yep.
Their bathrooms are still very clean.
Yes, they are.
So park models, does that mean
Nice.
like a rental, like our cabins where you would rent them? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
they
thinking?
are basically cabins. So I'm probably gonna be getting them. I don't know, within the next like 4 months or so.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
So I'm starting off small because I always said, and this is like so rich coming from me because they were always like, all my guests were like, are you going to get park models? Like, are you going to get cabins? Blah, blah. And I was always like, no, I don't want them. I don't want them. You know, I'm never going to do them ever. And so now I'm doing them.
There you go.
So we have 6 cabins at Happy Acres.
Yeah, and your cabins are cute.
Yeah, so Angie and Kevin had those built. And now they do not have running water. That's the downside.
That's the bad part.
Angie initially, I guess, didn't want, because her thing is that's not camping. She wants, I guess, I don't know.
I think that you guys
But-
have more flexibility up north too because it's really common to have campgrounds that will be using like the honey wagon or don't have full hookups or anything
Right.
like that. But you would be really hard pressed to find a campground like that in Texas.
Yeah. And honestly, it does hurt us because we do get people once they hear there's no running water, they're like, oh. I mean, we have a bathhouse
A pod, bathroom
close.
pods.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's close by. But yeah, I mean, they're cute. They're just.
Yeah, they're cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This summer, we are doing a trailer for the first time, a rental
Yeah.
destination trailer. So it will sleep, I think it sleeps
6, she
6.
said. Mhm.
Has a full kitchen
A
that
little
we're
loft.
gonna fully outfit with pots and pans and
Yeah.
and full bathroom. So we're gonna try that. It was actually Angie and Kevin's that they bought 2 years
2
ago.
years ago.
And they used it the first summer. Last summer they didn't hardly use it. So Kevin was like, "I think we're going to sell the destination." And I'm like, "What? Do you really need the cash?" And Kevin's like, "No. What you want to try renting it? So we're going to try it. We'll see how it
When
goes."
it's rented already for the summer.
Not for the
part-
summer. 1 week.
That's what I
we
mean.
got our first reservation.
That's what
on
I meant,
It, so I'm
part of the
excited,
summer.
But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we've talked about like maybe we should do more. So we're going to try it out and see how it works for us.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Are you going to spread them out? Can I ask or?
Yeah, of
or-
course. So actually what I really want to do is in the new section that we just built, we have a few shorter spots. They just ended up being shorter because I didn't want to take any trees out. And so sometimes we were just kind of like moving the plans a little bit to
Yeah.
account for where the trees are. And so we have a couple sites they're not like that short. They're still like 55 feet, but we're going to put them in the shorter spots.
But No, I think you misunderstood.
Oh, sorry, Rockport. Rockport.
Rockport. Okay, I meant, are you gonna spread them out amongst the 3 parks or?
So yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. That's actually TBD because I haven't
Okay.
talked to my dad.
Sure.
But I'm also considering buying some for Vicksburg. But no, so probably those 4 would be going to Rockport.
Yeah.
But now my brain's kind of thinking that maybe I'll get a couple for Vicksburg as well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
When did you do the expansion on Rockport then?
I finished.
Because I remember videos where you were talking about it.
Yeah, I probably stopped talking about it for a while because it got really stressful. It's like when you're doing your real life online and then your life gets really stressful, it's like not fun to talk about online. So we finished that. So we finished a few of the spots because I had pre-rented them out November 1st, but it wasn't like very glamorous. So the electric company, we had like the hurricane and stuff that happened there. So then the electric company got behind. So then I had made these reservations and they were supposed to be done. So long story short, I actually had to hire a generator because I had like 10 people moving in and I didn't have electric.
Ooh.
It was awful. I'm not gonna lie, I did a lot of boohooing in the bathroom. But so we had like 10 people move in November 1st, and then we were officially done December 1st of 24. So just over a year. And then we hydro seeded and had people in, and we were watering every single day. And the guy who did the hydro seed actually left us his hydro seeder thing, so we were watering with that. And thankfully, I mean, my manager is a absolute frickin' rock star. So he was getting up and watering twice a day with I guess he's my work camper also, but my like really good friend who comes down in winters.
Yeah.
And they were watering for 5 hours a day.
Wow.
And just like really dedicated. And we were taking the waters out of our pond because we were in a drought. So we were in a no water order.
That's funny because I was in back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to bring this up, but I know around here, they're in the drought in the hill country.
Yeah, you're not allowed to
You're not supposed to water.
No, we were pumping it out of the ponds. Which, fun story, we found out that the pond water is a little brackish, so it didn't work that well.
Okay.
As it turns out, if you're really close to the ocean and you think that your ponds are freshwater, they might not be completely freshwater. Yeah, so it was a rough year. I was doing a lot of apologizing and being like, I'm really sorry, guys. Like, I'm trying to get this grass to grow. And somehow I still had repeat guests, so
that's awesome.
I know.
I can't honestly. I'm excited to come down.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be really fun. Like, and I love having other operators down just to like, not to like. It sounds like harsh to be like to critique me, but you guys see things that I don't see.
Right. Well, in the same way at our park.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I love it. So whenever I can get somebody who's gonna give me the real, I'm like, yeah, just tell me anything you notice, like let me know. So I'm really excited.
Well, like I said, we've been watching the videos now for a year and a half, and
we love the beach, and your place looks beautiful,
and it's Oyster Fest that week. So
oh yeah, I forgot that I did that. Good. Yeah, you guys will get to eat all the oysters.
Yeah.
I saw online that they have even like this little like oyster party barge thing where you can go. They have like the party barge. They'll take you out. You can get the oysters, and then they will like actually shuck them and give them to you like right from ocean to plate.
Fresh.
Wow.
I know. I was like, it doesn't get more fresh than that, does it?
Holy cow.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, what else? So that brings us up to speed on you and your park. So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, what else? I think that something that I would like to know from you guys is, well, no, because you guys have like a completely different game than me.
Right.
So how is it like during the summer with managing? Because you guys kind of mentioned that sometimes there's a little bit of like friction between like the seasonals, or not friction, but like just that like seasonals feel like a little standoffish with the nightlies and all that. Like how does that come to be, and how did you guys fix that in your park?
Well, like I said, and Patty, you mentioned this. We have a great group of seasonals overall.
We do. Mm-hmm. They're very
So
friendly.
I think we're pretty fortunate.
We're lucky. Yes.
One of the things Angie has told seasonals, I think since day one, is we want to respect you as seasonals, but you need to respect nightlies if you want this campground to survive.
Yeah.
And so she has kind of charged the seasonals as you are ambassadors
Of
for
the
this
park.
campground.
Yep.
And we now I'm not going to tell you there's different types of seasonals.
Yeah.
We have seasonals that literally are snowbirds, I guess, or
They're all
they might be
season.
winter Texans. I don't know. We have anybody currently in the park that comes to Texas,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
but
Maybe they will after this.
maybe
They might. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try to bring a lot of people next year.
Honestly, I feel like the winter Texan season. The reason that I asked you about
Yeah.
like your seasonal
Right.
thing is because obviously we have people who stay in the park year round, and I didn't really know that there would be a friction point. But I have heard, like I've heard from other parks that like that the people who stay full time don't really like the winter Texans or whatever. But like my people are looking forward to the winter Texans coming every single year. They're
Okay.
like counting down the day because it's all their friends coming back.
Right.
Right.
And I
You know
would
what I
say
mean?
that's a little different only from the standpoint of
Because they're there for months, not weekends.
yes, not just for weekends.
That's the thing, is because that's like something that I love so much about Rockport is that you get to build these connections with people. And like, yeah, I think it almost makes it better that they leave for 6 months out of the year
Yeah.
because then I get to miss them. And then I'm like so happy when they come back.
And that's the way we
We
are
are.
because we close. So
Yeah.
we're excited
To
to see our seasonals.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, because they become like family.
They are family. I know it's
Yeah.
like so cliche to say that, but like I kid you not, my managers and me too. We know their names, we know their grandkids' names, we know
Yep.
their dogs' names, we know
Yep.
what they were doing this summer. Literally, I have this one winter Texan who they can't come anymore because they're pretty old and it's just like too much for them to make the trip anymore. But man, he's like up on my Facebook every single day, sending me videos of his grandkids, sending me videos of his property. He's like a really big fisherman. He was a shrimper.
Right.
And so like I'm like really into fishing. I love fishing. So like whenever I'm out, I'm catching fish. I'm like sending him pictures of my
Right.
fish.
Right.
You know, I want him to be proud of me. So like it's just like I love the community.
Yeah.
Well, and see, like one example I could think of, hun, is this past summer we had a seasonal that she was in a car accident, a really bad car accident. And so a lot of the other seasonals, we took care of their spot.
Flowers,
flowers
watering
and
their
watering,
flowers.
Oh, because
mowing.
you guys like don't mow the seasonal spots.
Seasonals do
they
their
have the
own.
option.
Yes.
and-
Okay. I
yeah.
know about. Because you know, like it's different games. So
Right,
like sometimes I'm
exactly.
like, oh yes, this is a thing.
And
Yeah.
also, I know some of them, like made food and took it to their because they don't
to
live
her husband
Yeah, her
and-
husband who
I
Yeah.
they
love
don't live.
that.
They live like a half an hour away, and so they actually took food and
That
helped
is
out.
amazing.
Yeah. So
Because-
it's this community. But
Mhm.
again, we have to have the nightly business
in
too.
order to survive.
Yeah,
and
you have
so, what we don't want to hear is, like a seasonal, and this has happened once before, tell nightlies like, well, I'm a seasonal here. That
Okay.
you're
Like
both
strutting
camp.
around?
Like we
No.
literally Angie kind of had to come out and say at the annual
Tamper
meeting.
that down. Yeah.
Yeah, like there is no class of campers.
We're all
Mhm.
the same.
No, that's so
We're-
true though. Like
yeah.
it's
and it would be
not-
like somebody's here telling a winter Texan. Like,
I'm a
well,
real Texan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
live
yeah.
here year round. No, we're all renting sites. Nobody owns the land except for you
Yep.
or Angie and Kevin. But like I said, we just overall though we have such a great group.
And I think everyone is just so friendly. It is crazy how friendly everybody just
Yeah.
is. Because we've had people that stay that we now know that come in. We have monthly sites. And people that come back and say, it's just so nice here. Everyone is so kind and helpful.
When you
and
have nightlies, and again, our park's a little different
it's
because we close.
smaller,
But
yeah.
the fact that we have nightlies comment about how great our seasonals are.
And how helpful. And all that. Yeah.
I guess we're just really fortunate.
We're very lucky that we.
I don't think you're fortunate, and I'm going to compliment myself by proxy. I think that you guys curate that environment.
Yeah, and it started with Angie and Kevin.
Yep, from the top down.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
But if Angie and Kevin didn't care about that, then
Yep.
they wouldn't have hired you guys.
Absolutely.
Because like I care a lot about it.
yeah.
And I like my managers who I have in place are literally amazing.
Mhm.
And Danelle and Keith, they work so hard at making sure that everybody is feeling welcome, to make sure that everybody feels like they belong,
Yep.
to make sure that we're like creating that community. And so, sorry, sound guy.
Nothing Jim can't
That's
take
Jim.
care
Jim
of.
will fix that.
But like it doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen because you're lucky. It happens because you think about it, because you say it at your meetings that you have, because you put like energy and effort into it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's probably why I'm drawn to you guys as well, is because we really care about like the guest experience, about if they feel welcome, they feel like they're part of the Happy Acres family or the Quilly's family.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, and I will say, like, I know this year when we had the fall seasonal meeting, Angie at some point made some comment about me, and she said, you know, the thing about Patrick is if you didn't know better, you'd think he owns the park, but he doesn't.
That's what you want,
and
though.
and that was that, and it was a compliment that's how much I care.
Your heart is into it.
Right.
Yep.
And that's true. A lot of times I say, like, my park, but I'll say to Angie and Kevin, like, please don't take that the wrong way. They're like, we don't take that the wrong way.
No, you know what? Danelle, she always says, like, my park, my park.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, it's her park. This woman's putting blood, sweat, and tears into
that's
this
just
park.
like Robin and Bill are neighbors. They are workers, and they deal with the grounds. And Robin takes care of all the flowers.
And she treats them like
her own plants, and she's
it's our whole
working.
crew, though. It's not just me. That's the thing.
But you curate that environment,
right.
or Angie and Kevin curate that environment, and then guests can then have a good time because, like, that.
Right.
I think
everyone is just so prideful and they take care of it.
Yes.
That's the thing,
like
and it trickles down to.
You have to. I mean, we're the outdoor hospitality industry for a reason, right?
Yep.
We are being hospitable. Like, we're like curating this environment, right?
Right.
So
And that's what makes it fun, you know. Like I said, my background was hotels prior to education, and so that's what I always loved about running hotels. I love the hospitality side, the welcoming people in and getting to know them, and so it's just, you know, and after 28 years of talking about business, it's great to be back in it now.
Yeah.
And at least for 7 months out of the year.
For 7 months.
Well,
I mean, then you get to relax for them.
I know.
Or semi-relax, or like the rest of
I
it.
know.
Do you think that you get to build like more long-lasting relationships in the, I'm going to call it the outdoor hospitality industry when compared to the hotel?
Definitely.
I think
Yeah.
Because even though, like, when I ran hotels, we would have, like, my hotel, one of my hotels I ran was 65% corporate. And some of those people would come week after week after week. They were, like, coming into town for sales or whatever. So you'd get to know them.
Yeah.
But it was nothing like where we have, especially with the seasonals. But
it's a different vibe, right?
A totally different vibe.
Because, like, it's hard. Like, if you're camping, like, you come in with your RV. Maybe you're a little stressed because traffic is stressful. Like, yeah, absolutely. But, like, you're going to be in a good mood.
Right.
Like, you're here for fun. You're here to relax. You're here to disconnect. Like, that's, like, my ideal person to hang out with. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and so it's the same way. I mean, and we keep asking the question. I've been asking the question for quite a while now. You know, like, how can we make that experience better?
Yeah.
For our campers. And one of the things I kept asking campers this summer was, do you like having to get out of your vehicle to come into the office to check in, or would you prefer to stay in your vehicle?
I'll bet you it's a mixed bag, though.
It's a big mixed bag. I've had some people say, oh, that would have been awesome if you would have greeted us and sent us straight to our site. I've had other people like, no, I really enjoy coming into the office and checking out things. And
because there's
talking.
a store, too. And your guys' store is so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my
so,
gosh, yes.
but it's those types of questions I'm always asking, because it's like, you know, how can we make this process even better? Because that's, as you know, the other challenge is when things are good, if you just leave them at good, they're not getting better.
Yeah.
And so it's that constant, how do we make Happy Acres a little more happy next year? What can we do to get to, and that's the challenge. You know, we're the highest or not the highest 5-star. We're the highest Google rated campground now in our county. And if you read our reviews, it's like mainly all 5-star reviews. It's so funny. A couple of the bad reviews, people never even stayed there.
Yeah, that's happened
Isn't
to
that
me
crazy?
too. It's like, or I don't know. Google reviews are a whole other thing.
I know.
But that's something like the Google reviews are so important, and like every time I get a Google review, which I'm so fortunate that most of mine are good too.
Right.
You know what I mean? But because you know, it's harder to get good reviews than bad reviews, because if somebody is frustrated, they're much more motivated to like air out their grievances.
Yeah, leave that.
Yeah, but like I've gotten so lucky, and that somebody wrote in their Google review that when they came to Quilly's that they thought it was too good to be true, because all of my reviews were so positive, and they thought like that it just couldn't be right. And they're like, but gosh, it really is like this good. And I was like, wow.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And it
What
always-
a compliment, right?
But then it's like, oh gosh, how do we keep this up?
yeah,
You know?
gotta keep it
Well,
going.
it also it sets the bar really high, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, thankfully, like I'm sure, like Angie and Kevin feel the same way. Is like my staff just always. Sorry, I'm gonna. Like I'm really fortunate in that my staff is always like trying to raise the bar and is always like, you know, listening to the
Sure.
guests and always like going above and beyond
Right.
to
Absolutely.
make sure. But I think, I mean, you have to, like, I'm sure you guys train it a lot with your staff. I'm sure that Angie and Kevin are really supportive of that as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, I am so fortunate. We all are. Everybody who works for Angie and Kevin says the same thing. Like, I guess they're friends more than bosses. I mean, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, they own the campground.
Yeah.
But they treat us like family.
Well, and they work as hard as we do.
And they work as hard as we do.
When they're there, yeah.
And so I'm just, funny because Angie last summer kept making comments about worrying that I would quit. And Kevin's like, yeah, she's constantly worrying you're going to up and quit. And so one day I finally pulled her aside and I said, Angie, do you understand I gave up a 28-year career in education to come work for you? Why would I be out looking for another job? Like you and Kevin are the reason I am here. And she's like, I know, but I just worry. And I said, don't. Like, I'm here because of you. And I think everybody that works for them feels the same way. Like, and your staff probably feels the same way about you. And that's what makes I think that's what makes a great organization is it starts at the top with great owners who take care of their staff. And then that staff takes care of the campers or the guests or whatever you want to call them. And then you end up with great guests. And
I'm a firm believer that you have to treat like your staff really well.
Yep.
And because the thing is that they are the ones who are out there day to day. They're the ones who hear the stuff that I don't hear. They're the ones like doing the nitty gritty. And if you have like me as an owner, I have their back, which I like super have their back. Like I'm so grateful and just like so appreciative of them. But if I have their back, they're going to also have my back when it matters. And that is like really what creates the trust, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing I think that, and Patrick started this past summer, we do staff dinners at the campground like every
other week.
And
but it's not mandatory.
no.
I always tell people that
But
because I hate
everybody-
mandatory stuff.
Yeah.
So and how it started was I bought a new smoker, and I was going to.
You really are Texan, huh?
Yeah. So I was smoking a brisket, and I said to Patty, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to invite the staff to join us because we're going to have this big
So
brisket.
much food.
And it was a Tuesday night. I sent out a text to the staff, and I said, hey, if you want to join us in the pavilion tonight for dinner. And then all of a sudden I'm getting text back like, what can I bring? I'm like, well, I smoked a brisket.
Well, and then Amy, who works in the office, she took it on herself, and she was getting the sides figured out.
Yeah.
And then everybody just showed up, and
That's
so we did it
fun,
once.
though.
And so the staff is just sitting in the pavilion on a
Hanging
Tuesday
out,
night, hanging out. We're
laughing.
laughing. And somebody said, we ought to do this more often. I said, okay, we'll do it every other week.
yep,
Yeah.
it went all summer.
And it went all summer. And again, but I always tell people, it's because people are like, oh, you probably force them to come.
No.
No, if you don't want to come,
or you have
Yeah,
something
don't
going
come.
on.
yeah, but that creates that bond with the staff. Like,
We had such a good family staff.
yeah.
It's everyone
Yeah.
just makes
And-
it's like you pick on Uncle Joe, and that's one of our, we're all just getting along so well with each
Yeah,
other.
it's our activities are probably like a little bit different than your guys' activities because we don't have a lot of kids.
We
So-
don't either.
we don't
though.
either.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I made an assumption.
Yeah, so we are, and that shocks a lot of people. Look, we welcome families and kids, but that's not our target audience.
Interesting.
Our target audience is adults. So if you look at our activities calendar, you're not going to see
A lot of
tie
kid
dye
things.
and all that stuff. You're going to see things like live music once a month. You're going to see bourbon tastings and just
So
stuff.
maybe
that-
you guys are more similar to
And
me than
sip
I
and
thought.
paint. Remember, she used to do
Yeah,
sip and paint.
Yeah, we
and-
do sip and paint,
yeah,
too.
And so now during fall with
There's
the
other
Halloween,
things.
obviously we go a little more kids because we have trick or treating and things like that. But
Pumpkin
in general,
carving and stuff.
no, we tend to be an older park.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously me too, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
a winter Texan, and it's hard to be a winter Texan if you're not retired.
That's
so
true.
That's like, but I always like make jokes because it's always I'm 36, and so I will like by far be the youngest person there.
I would think so.
Yeah, yeah, like by far. And then
So
sometimes
you got a
I'll-
lot of grandparents, is what you've got.
Yeah,
probably.
I do,
They
I
probably
do.
like, hey,
Taking care of you.
It is like that, and it's just kind of funny because I always like very affectionately called them my oldies.
Yeah.
But it's
that's
just
cute.
like, but it's so much fun. Like, in my staff also, like, just tends to be older as well. But we have these, like, card games that we play every week, and it's open for the rest
Sure.
of the campers too. But it's, I mean, that is honestly, like, the most fun part for me is when we're, like, playing cards or, like, we're hanging out and it's not, like, work
Yep.
related, and we're just getting to, like, you know, shoot
Right.
the
The
game.
breeze,
Yeah,
yeah.
shoot the breeze and just, like, it's like,
Uh-huh.
I like, love that so much.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I hate to do this, but we're at an hour.
Wow, it went by really fast.
So, Katie, this was awesome, but we really appreciate you coming
Yeah,
on.
absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, will you be around when we're
Yeah.
in Rockport?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we may record another episode if you're
Oh,
willing when we're in
wow.
Rockport,
Yeah, of
and
course.
that'll be in March. Because
Absolutely.
if we decide we need more time to talk, we may have other things by then. But we are so excited to come
Maybe
down
we can
there.
talk about like your recap of being a winter Texan.
Yeah,
Because
there
there
we
we go.
look, the winter Texan game, I know the people of Florida, I know the people of Arizona, but I just really think that Texas is where it's at.
It is. I mean, I will tell you, I keep telling my uncle I hate Texas. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I hate Texas because I really love
Love it
Texas.
here.
It's awful,
Like,
right?
Yeah, like I love Florida. We both do.
Well, yeah, we spent so much time
And it
there.
feels like a second home to us. Like the minute we hit the state line, it's like, comfort zone. And so coming to, we really wanted to be in Florida. I'm just going to be honest.
No, I know you. You told me that before.
But the prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so I kept saying to Patty, like, I really don't want to like Texas. And already we're like, we love it here.
So growing up in New Mexico, there's a lot of Texans in New Mexico.
Okay.
And Texans are always talking about like how great Texas is. And I remember being like 8 years old and thinking, if you like Texas so much, why don't
Where-
you move back? But now that I live in Texas, I'm like, God, Texas is great. And I didn't want to like Texas
Right.
either. I had no desire to stay in Texas. Like, full disclosure, I thought I was going to be a hands-off owner.
Right.
And that I was just going to be like a little keyboard warrior from afar. And the thing is that I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with the campgrounds, and I fell in love with the lifestyle
Yeah,
in Texas and
absolutely.
Texas.
I
And now
see.
I'm just stuck here for life because I love it so much, and because
Yeah.
because I have a bunch of HEBs really close to
That's
me. So it's
right.
like, what am I supposed to
I
do?
know.
Between HEB, Buc-ee's, and Whataburger.
Academy? Have y'all been to Academy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Academy
Acad-
Sports.
I love Academy.
Now, they have those in Florida.
They have academies in Florida.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they've been there for quite a while.
Wow, I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We lived 2 summers in Florida back in 2000, 2001, something like that.
Yep.
And because we bought, I remember that we bought golf clubs at Academy Sports.
Okay.
Because we decided we were going to be golfers.
That didn't
Not a
work
good
out.
thing to do in the summer in
No.
Florida.
Seems kind of hot.
It's
Do you
very-
guys fish?
Used
I
to.
haven't used to,
As a
haven't
kid.
in years.
Yeah.
I need to. I
Yeah.
mean, we have ponds at the campground, but
Oh yeah, you need to get on.
I know.
It's like
Get on
that's when I decide because I think I told you like that I have no other personality other than like being in the campground.
Right.
And so I was like, I need to have another personality trait other than being in the campground and
Fishing.
because I used to hike a lot in New Mexico, but
Sure.
like where am I gonna hike?
Right.
It's pretty flat here. So yeah, I started fishing, and it's like. I mean, so much fun. And also, if you go and fish in the campground, you'll be fishing, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody
Lots of
comes
people.
Comes out.
everybody's talking. Like, so maybe when they're there, I'll give you one of my poles.
All right, maybe you loan me a pole and I'll catch
loan
a
you.
big one.
Maybe you will. Maybe you will.
So if anybody is interested in booking any of your 3 parks, where would they
It's
go?
Quilly's RV Parks with an S.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have an app, correct?
Yeah, I do have an app. Actually,
So if people wanted to explore your parks ahead of time,
yeah, if you guys want to see my parks, you go to the App Store and just search for Quilly's RV Parks. And, well, I guess they can't see it, but
Right.
like this is what the app looks like. Is
Okay.
the Quilly's RV Parks.
so you
Okay.
can you either
Yeah.
go to the website, but if you really want to deep dive into the parks, go and get the app, which is free.
Yeah, or if you want like a park tour or something like that, you can go to my YouTube. It's
Yep.
Katie at Quilly's, and then I
Sure.
have park tours there. Or I have a TikTok. It's Katie at Quilly's as well.
Nice.
Are you also on Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Quilly's RV Parks, and then the Facebook groups the Facebook pages are divided by the park. So it'll
Okay.
either be Quilly's Big Fish RV Park, Quilly's Magnolia RV Park, or Quilly's Cozy Traveler.
One
On
final
Facebook.
question.
Okay.
Quilly's. I have always wondered how
How to
did
get the name?
was
Let
that
me tell you, and I'm gonna do a website like update, and I'm going to
Okay.
explain this. But the thing is that when I think about camping, I always think about the animals that I would see while I was camping. And an animal that I love and that I would see often is porcupines. And they are spread out throughout North America. They are in Mississippi, they're in Texas, they're all over.
Okay.
And so I wanted my mascot to be a porcupine, and porcupines have quills, and so Quilly was born. So he is a North American porcupine, and he is my bestie.
There you
Nice.
go.
I meant to ask you that a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I needed to know. The
Yeah,
story.
so Quilly, he is a North American porcupine, and he is my mascot and
go.
sidekick. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again
Yes,
so much
absolutely.
for
Yeah,
joining us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
And thank you to all of you who are either listening or maybe even watching on our dedicated YouTube channel, Travels with Delaney.
The podcast.
And a huge shout out to our good friend and producer, Mr. Jim Kuzman.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim, for making us sound good.
He does his magic all
He
the
does his
time.
magic. We always tell Jim if he could just make us look good for the YouTube
I
version.
mean, now I
but
better. Well,
he
Jim's going to
hasn't-
have his work cut out because I cough so much.
Oh,
No, it's
that's
perfect.
okay.
Till next time, everybody. We'll see ya.
On down the road.
Bye.
Travels with Delaney. We'll see you on down the road.